teleportation, some modern work in that field gives some perspective. It happens at Caltech in Pasadena on a table floating on a cushion of air. By shooting laser beams through a maze of mirrors, scientists produce an effect called quantum teleportation. It's the realization in miniature of something right out of Star Trek.
This is something that is so fantastic at this point in time, scientifically, that it almost is in the realm of science fiction.
However, scientists have succeeded only in teleporting subatomic particles called photons. What they don't foresee is how they'll ever be able to teleport any kind of solid object, let alone a 1,200-ton warship.
If I take an arbitrary state of 300 particles, quantum particles, just to write down what is that state requires more bits of information than there are particles in the universe. The notion that one could teleport a material system of any sensible size is just, beyond technical capabilities for any foreseeable future.
There is one small but intriguing link between teleportation and the story of the Philadelphia experiment. Albert Einstein is said to have masterminded the experiment, and quantum teleportation makes use of a principle that Einstein called spooky action at a distance, which is a mysterious interrelationship between distant objects.
In fact, it was Einstein who first pointed out this kind of resource in a 1935 paper, in a completely different context, not for use for teleportation. He actually brought it up as a counterexample to the theory of quantum mechanics.
Even if he didn't intend it, Einstein's theory became one of the inspirations for quantum teleportation. The provable facts behind the Philadelphia experiment are few, and there remain a few unanswered questions. Why would the Office of Naval Research be interested in a UFO book that contains the story of a disappearing Navy ship? And why would the author of that book commit suicide at the moment he was going to reveal all he knew? The story of the Philadelphia experiment has survived the debunking of its creator, Carl M. Allen. It has outlived Allen himself, who died in a Colorado nursing home in 1994.
The mystery and the myth continued to evolve. What it did do is that the believers began to separate Allen from the myth of his making. They began to extricate their creator from his story, and it began to take other directions.
The Philadelphia experiment has become the modern version of the ancient dream of invisibility. In Greek mythology, there is a magic helmet which confers invisibility. In Celtic lore, the Druids have enchanted capes that do the same. Today, we have a sailor's tall tale of a disappearing warship. It's a story with only a tiny anchor in fact, but deep roots in the imagination.
In March 1999, 15 men who once served on the USS Eldridge got together for the first time in more than 50 years. The veterans, now in their 70s and 80s, said they never saw any sign of experimentation and reaffirmed that the ship was never even in Philadelphia. They laughed about the so-called Philadelphia experiment and marveled at how such a far-fetched story took on a life of its own and still refuses to die.
Discover more about this and every History's Mysteries topic at historychannel.com.
I'm Arthur Kent for the History Channel. Thanks for watching.
Tonight on the History Channel. Named after the tradition in India of hunting snipe, small, elusive bird that's hard to find, difficult to stalk. Snipers have evolved from duels in the trenches into a mobile elite task force that strikes with precision and fear into enemy territory. Snipers, tonight at 8 on the History